So we're following up our episode regarding the Ottawa Charge arena situation. We've already released an episode on it called Reduced Charge, and I do recommend you having a look, check that out, where we give you our thoughts about the situation going on Ottawa. We now have had an update for you guys, and we have. And I think we did say on that episode we would edit those updates. We'd come back to you guys. Yeah. Because this is a very alarming situation, especially in Ottawa. Yeah, so we now have heard the PWHL side to this, and I'm going to read that out for you guys. It's a very lengthy article. I'm still under the weather, so wish me luck. I'm going to go through it bit by bit, and then when we've done the article in whole, we can then give our thoughts on it, okay? Okay, right, so here we go. So, PWHL Executive Senior Vice Presidents Amy Schuer and Jaya Hefford travelled to Ottawa to take part in questioning and consultation with Ottawa's Mayor and Council regarding plans for a new arena in Ottawa. Members of the PWHL leadership group, Amy Schuer and Jaya Hefford, were at the City of Ottawa's most recent council meeting, a special meeting designed to discuss plans for Lansdowne 2.0. Is that what they're calling the project? Yeah, that's what they're calling the project. Yeah, that's what they're calling the project. Yeah, okay. Not very creative, but there we go. They can't all be called Howard Terminal. Don't you dare! Don't you bring that up. Flashbacks already. These plans include a new, albeit smaller arena that would potentially serve as the future home of the PWHL Ottawa Charge. It's only the potential future home because the PWHL has been unable to reach a lease agreement with OSEG, who operate the facility, and the league does not believe plans for the new arena are viable for the league or team. The proposed arena plan would see seater capacity reduced by roughly 3,000 fans. A plan the PWHL does not feel supports Ottawa's fan base or the financial viability of the team. Well, we already mentioned that. Yeah, we already mentioned the league was not happy with this, but this now goes more in further because we've now had a meeting has taken place. Yeah. So, when we recorded last time, there were no meetings had taken place yet, and now a meeting has. So it's now gone a bit more further. Yeah. So according to Amy Schuer, the PWHL's Executive Director of Business Operations, the league has been negotiating in what they believe was good faith on a new lease with the Ottawa Sports and Entertainment Group, who operate TD Place Arena in partnership with the City of Ottawa. As Schuer made clear to councillors and Ottawa's Mayor, Mark Sutcliffe, I got it right that time, didn't I? You did. I did. On the last episode, I accidentally mispronounced his name because I'm reading it on my phone. I was very down on the weather, and I just mulled it up. But he's a nasty cow, so I don't think he deserves to have his name right. Yes, he's still playing party politics here, guys. He's trying to paint the PWHL in a bad light. Now, I am not having that under any circumstances. Even if this wasn't already personal to me, what happened in Oakland, I'd still be like, no, don't you dare. Don't you dare try and badmouth the PWHL here, okay? Don't even try it. Not unless you buy your balls. Or your lives. No. George could kick him in the balls, and then me and you could give him rabies. And then a miss and a tetanus shot. Nah, doesn't deserve it. Okay, so the Fixed Harbour, the that is that no deal on a new lease would not get done, as OSEG's current offer, coupled with the team losing thousands of fans per game, would result in an estimated $1 million in loss to the Charge per season. Oh my god, yeah. Wow. Per season. Jesus Christ. Per season. Yeah. Oh my god. Gets worse. There's still not enough seats. That impacts the entire business. For it to be profitable, it's just not, said Shia while addressing the council. We've tried every single way to take what OSEG negotiated and find a way to make money with that. And ultimately, we couldn't. The PHL simply has no plans to relocate the Ottawa Charge to the Canadian Tire Centre at home of the HL's Ottawa Senators. She boasted about the Charge's strong attendance, which she believed would be even stronger if the Charge were prioritised and given more weekend days at TD Place Arena. Exactly. Exactly. You go. You gotta remember, the Charge are not the primary tenants of TD Place. Nobody of the local 6 is a primary tenant in their venues. No. So, and if the OSC 67s aren't making the money, they're not throwing the fans in, then why are they getting the better dates? Touch me. Touch me. But why would they not want to go to Canadian Tire Centre? I think it's they want to be close to it, and I'm gonna not quote the song. They want to stay downtown. Ah! Is that the only excuse? No, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. No, that's not good enough. Canadian Tire Centre, it's bigger, it's got the facilities. We know that one day the Senators, very soon, are going to move to a new arena. That could then open the doors for the Charge to be a primary tenant of Canadian Tire Centre. And if any of the local 6 seasons deserves to have a primary tenant, or deserves to be a primary tenant, it's the Charge. Yeah, because they've proven the fan base is there, they've proven the passion's there. It's just they need an arena decent to maximise this fan base. Yep. So if any of the local 6 seasons deserves to be a primary tenant of a building, it's the Charge. Especially if they do feel they are on the right track to maybe one day to have a World Cup in the bank. And they could! Yeah, they could. Yeah. But yeah, so... But that's the only reason I see about Canadian Tire Centre right now not being viable, because they don't want to go down, they want to stay downtown. Yeah, they say that, but the Boston Fleet playing Lowell, which is not actually in Boston. And that's proven quite a challenge. I know. Right, I'll continue here. Stewart also stated that the PHL would prefer to stay at the current building than move to a new, smaller arena. Might have a choice. Exactly. You might not have a choice, because what if TD Place gets torn down? Exactly. You're not going to have a choice. No. The current TD Place arena is aging and was criticised in a council session by former Charge defender Jinsey Rose, who left Ottawa at her first opportunity this off-season. Rose stated the arena had safety issues, including ice conditions. The PHL Executive Vice President of Hockey Operations, Jay Heffer, acknowledged the need for repairs at the arena, but stated the strength of Ottawa is in the fans and how the crowd supports the players. Ottawa is one of the best places to watch a PHL game. When it is full, it is loud. The fans are crazy. It's an incredible environment, and that's what our players love about Ottawa, said Hepburn. Yes, they love to see the improvements, but they also love to have 8,500 plus fans. Yeah, and we know from what we've seen the Frost at T-Place how raucous that building is. That fan base seems to always rile lady. They always make my blood boil. Every time we're playing Ottawa, the fans always need to find a way to make my blood boil because they're just so passionate. They literally take everything to heart. Yeah, they question every single call that gets made. Yeah. Even when it's the right call, they still throw history about it, and it has made Leggy just at times go like, "Oh, back of your baskets." Yeah. We assign that, don't we, when we play Ottawa, go, back your baskets. Because clearly that's the right call. We know it's the right call. Just move on. But that is one of the best environments to be able to PHL. I mean, I know Montreal like to say, what about us? But you only really make ruckus every time the puck goes in the opponent's zone. Yeah. They always need to get them more loud every time they feel like the puck is near the opponent because they think it might result in a goal. Yeah. Whereas Ottawa is pretty much loud from puck drop to the final buzzer. Yeah. I agree. I honestly, I agree. Ottawa, I don't want to say it. Well, I'll say it for you then. Okay, I'll say it for you. Ottawa is one of the best places to play the PHL purely because of how raucous that fan base is. That's exactly what I want to say. You didn't want to say it on the camera. Yeah. What are you doing here then? I'm not dragging you two to be on it. You don't want to say it, then don't come on the camera. But it is the best, one of the best places. But well, why not to have the balls to say it then? Why just have George to say it for you, especially when he's not well? Thank you, lady. Thank you, lady. Yeah, but it is one of the best places to watch a game, which is why when we do our road trip, it needs to be not a Frost Charge game because we will be on the fan side and not against them. Yeah, because we don't want to get banned. Yeah, because I think Ottawa and Toronto would be the places where we probably get banned. Why Toronto? Oh, says why Toronto? Why Toronto? Why Toronto? You and your dirty sectors dance. That's why. Yes, you. Don't try to act innocent. You and your dirty sectors dance. I mean, you're the one who came up with the dirty Cyrus chant. What? She's taking it back. She's taking it back. She's taken that back because she now agrees that actually New Jersey actually is the right place for Cyrus. So she's taking it back. I'll take it back. Me and George over the summer now agree it probably is the best place for the Cyrus, despite the fact it is in a different state. So I've taken that back. But you clearly have not taken your dirty sector stars back. Right, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it is one of the best places to play in the PHL, mainly because of that fan base, and they just get loud, they get raucous, and they're just passionate. They are so passionate about their fan bases. I think it's one of the brilliant fan bases in the league right now, and you know, and we saw that on full display in the World Cup finals. Yeah, their fans thought they were going to be sweeping us. They did. Oh yes, they did, and we said, "Hold my soda, Brilla, do the death, do the deed." God bless, silence them. There's still a lot of this part letter played all well. You should have realised that. Shut up. Yeah. Especially as how we had come back from a 2-0 deficit in the semi-finals to the Scepters in year 1. So it was doable. It was doable. Right, where am I in this article? Okay, one of the points that was raised multiple times throughout the meeting was the issue of capacity. While the City of Ottawa OSAG report a new arena in Ottawa would have a capacity of 6,600, Shearer stated that capacity isn't the number the PHL is focusing on. The league is looking only at the number of seats, which would be 5,500. So we've got conflating numbers. Yes, we have very conflating numbers. So the 6,000 number, that is for seating and standing. But the 5,500 number, that is for seats only. And clearly what the PHL is focusing on is not capacity, it's basically, I can't say it any nicely, it's arses on seats. Yeah. Well, would you want to be standing for a whole PHL game? No, you want to have a seat. You want to make the most of it. You want to make it as a night out. You'd want to have a seat. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you've got families going. Yeah! Well, let's sit here. Hold on, let me get to it. The league is looking only at the number of seats, which would be 5,500, compared to close to 8,500 currently. The rationale was behind accessibility for mature fans, those with acknowledgement that standing room would be 2 people deep in the new plans. A small arena, according to Shower and councillors discussing the issue, would also result in a significant increase in ticket prices in order to move the team forward profitability. No. Sure said, as representatives of the PHL, they were in Ottawa with open minds and open hearts and willing to have any discussion that, again, is in the best interest of Ottawa. Sure, the PHL expressed concern over the lack of consultation with the league and team and the fact that the finalised plans were released with only days before a vote was due to take place. Oh god, yep. Well, we haven't really seen that much communication with the city officials or the league. No. And if you really want this to work, if you want this team to you want the Charge to thrive in Ottawa, then you would be doing literally anything you could to make sure you negotiate in good faith with the PHR, especially given the fact that they were just made the World Cup finals. You would have thought that would have been insensitive then, because the Charge made the finals this year in their first post-season appearance in their second season. They not only missed out on winning the cup, let's just face it, they could have beaten us. Could have easily beaten, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, they really took it to us. So by that look, you think maybe this team could be in the next few years have a World Cup. Yeah. Do you really want this hanging over their heads for that? Nope. I know full well you don't want that. Because I went for it with the A's in Oakland. Yeah. And it dominated my time. And it eventually, in the latter stages of it, it became a really horrible issue that plagued me, caused me problems mentally, and in the end, I had to go. I had to go. I had to leave the team. I had to leave the team that I spent 11 years of my life backing, because in the end, it got too much. I had to go. And can we just say, he is now more happier being with an Oakland Ballers than he ever was being Oakland A's. I'll put it on the record. Yeah. Right, I'm going to finish the article, and then we can... So, all the councillors and the mayor grilled Shea regarding the league's needs, viability of women's professional sport, attendance figures, and whether or not capacity had always been a consideration. If the league could prove capacity had always been concerned, and the need of the PHL to consider the new arena plan a viable option. They are advocated for the PHL to have a seat at the table when it comes to the design of the London Arena, and called out the mayor for very black and white explanations when negotiations are much more nuanced than what's being presented. Sutcliffe also brought up the fact that the PHL could not explicitly commit to anything beyond the scope of the league's current collective bargaining agreement, which expired in 2021. Sutcliffe suggested that the Ottawa Charge are likely to going to be played in a different arena someday anyway. Where's he saying that? Exactly. Where's that? Because the league has said no to the entire centre. We don't know if the Senators would want them to be co-tenants in their new arena. Where's he got that from? Has he just gone and made the assumption that, oh, there's going to be a new arena in Ottawa one day for the Senators, and the Charge could easily go there, just like how the Frost share with the Wild, how the Sirens share with the Devils, and how Seattle shares with the Kraken. Is he making that assumption? Because it isn't viable for every single team. If it was, every single team would have just gone straight on pair with the NHL. Yeah, it's so. Yeah, where's he got that from? I don't know. Because the leader said, because the PHL said no, we're not going to go to Canadian Tire Centre. Where's he got that from? I mean, they could, but it depends on where the Senators new arena is. Maybe the league is looking into that. Maybe we could then share with the Senators. So it could be when the Senators arena opens, in that first season, the PHL does like a neutral site game, like we saw last year with Canadian Tire Centre. Then the following year, based on that, decide actually it worked, move full time. Yeah, that could be actually practical. Yeah, but yeah, right with her. Where has the mayor got this information from? How does he know for certain that Charge one day are not going to be playing at TD Place? Where's he got that from? Yeah. He's just now frustrating this even more, because clearly he does not want the PWHL in Ottawa. But it's worked! It's worked! It is worked. Ottawa, technically, is one of the best places in the PHL right now. Okay? So why is the city officials, why is the actual mayor disrupting it? Why is he trying to put the league off? Why is he trying to force them out? I don't get it. I do not get it. Right, we're nearly there. We are almost there. You've done well, Trooper. God, it's really got worse today. I mean, you've got no idea how much tissue I've gone through so far. It's dreadful. It's piling up. Oh, she replied to that. Go on, girl! She replied to that comment saying, if we're getting 13,000 fans a game and winning... Sorry, I'm going to do it again. If we're getting 13,000 fans a game, God willing, I'll be the happiest person in the world. Because it's great for women's sport. Oh! Go on! Go! Amy Shua! Yeah. You tell him, girl. Yeah. You tell him. You tell that bastard. She then goes on to say, we're not here to be antagonists. We're here to set the record straight. And we want to find a solution. We're invested in being here. We want to be here. We love this city. There you go. Straight for the horse's mouth. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again. The league took a huge gamble in that local season going to Ottawa. They could have gone elsewhere in Canada. They could have gone to Halifax, could have gone to Hamilton, could have gone to Quebec. But no, they gave Ottawa a chance, and Ottawa proved the gamble was worth it. Look, because they've been getting regular 8,000 plus, 19 night out, tick of the weekends. They not only qualified for the postseason their second season, they got all the way to the World Cup finals 2025 and easily could have beaten us. Yep. Okay? We know for a while that second cut we have, it could be ours. Yeah, because they put on quite a finals performance and easy could do it. But every single one of the Charge's games in the playoffs, we count both the finals and the semi-finals against the Victoire, they were all decided by 1 goal. So this Charge team was in it all the way. It's just unfortunately their kryptonite ultimately is what did them in the end, because Ottawa has never been a good team in overtime, both in the regular season and in playoffs. Yeah. They got the winning game one of the finals against us, but that was the only one they got in overtime. Yeah. So there you go. For the playoffs. Yeah. So it was always kryptonite and ultimately what did them in the end. So that cut that we got this in 2025, that easily could have been the Charges. So there you go. And then would we still have this conversation? I know. Yeah. I'll just say one more thing about the article. The final vote to either approve, so to either move forward with the current plans or not, is set to take place on November the 7th. The same day, PWHL training camps open. Uh-oh. Are you doing the impression of Beyonce? Oh, that's going to be a fun week. And, do the rugby series. Yeah. Oh, God. Bloody hell. That's the last one we need. Could it not be the week after? No, because the week after that's pre-season. Yeah, but that's only really scrimmages. It's close to public. So it's not really mean that people are going to pay more attention to the rugby series than pre-season. Oh my God. Well, I'll keep. Well, no, lady. You can still go on rugby series. I will keep an eye on that. Okay. I will keep an eye on that, and then obviously if something happens, we'll then obviously come back. Yeah, that's not great timing. Yeah. Just. So, the alarm bells are now ringing in Ottawa because it now feels serious. A boat is going to happen, and we have heard some councillors disgruntled about this. But is there enough on the board to go? Yeah. Oh, it feels like Hamilton. But does he not have the boats? That's the thing. Because the mayor seems to be like he doesn't need to be concerned with any problem, with any arguments against this proposal. He's just not having any interest in it. But there is a lot of disgruntled about it. So does he or does he not have the boats? That we'll have to wait and see. So let's not go all Thomas Jefferson just yet. Let's not go all Thomas Jefferson just yet. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. My heart just goes out for the Ottawa Charge because this is the last thing we need, especially how we are a young league. We are about to start our 3rd season in just less than a few weeks' time. You know, and given how the Charge are coming into this season, you know, on the back of a World Cup finals appearance, got a lot of momentum behind them. They got Griffiths on that contract extension, like with Emily Clark. So 2 strong, reliable players who they know will deliver well for them. So, of course, Griffiths is now going to be a starting netminder this year, because obviously Emma Mashmeyer was taken by Vancouver in the expansion process. Well, we knew Ottawa was going to lose a netminder, just the question was which one was it going to be. Yeah. So it does feel like this could be a good season on the ice for the Charge, especially if Griffiths can fire on all cylinders and then she gets the help from her other players. Because I've seen it play times in the HL when players do not give a start netminder the support they need. I've seen it plenty of times, and the HL as well. So, no, but the Charge fan base does not need this hanging over their heads right now. They don't. They do not. And I know this from experience, having gone through this with the Canadian situation. It's not a pretty thing. And Charge fans, it does actually then mess with your head. It does mess with your head. So we got to the latter stages of the whole situation in Oakland. It really was messing with me. It was making me feel more mentally. I was losing my love for the game of baseball, and I had to get out. And I did, and I'm so glad I did that, because now, as I mentioned, I am now with the Oakland Ballers of the Pioneer League, who, by the way, won the championship in 2025. Just saying. Just saying. We were Pioneer League champions 2025. Pretty great work. Yeah. Yeah, so obviously my heart goes out to the Charge fans, because this is the last thing they need, and I know what it's like to have gone through this in Oakland. I know what it feels. I do know what it feels like to go through this, and it's not a nice thing. But the problem that I have that if this goes ahead is the PHL has only got two options. One, you move to Canadian Tire Centre. Two, you take this new proposal. Yeah. Is that all? Oh, the downside association is the only bit I see with why the PHL said no, Canadian Tire Centre doesn't work. But is that really that big of a deal? I know, right? I mean, you've got... Look, actually, I'm happy to point out, you've got the Boston Fleet in Lowell, and that's not easy to get to. When you know there's arenas in Boston, actually in Massachusetts, that would work better. Like, you go, why did I move to Gas permanently? I don't know. Because a Gas arena is in Boston, and they did brilliantly getting fans out, just like they did for Stock Centre. They have got a couple of matches at a Gaddis Arena this year. I can't remember how many it is. There are a couple. But why not just move in there full time? I know. Yeah, but yeah, I've only found one reason so far why the PHL doesn't want to go to Canadian Tire Centre, because they don't want to leave downtown. Well, where is the Sergeant's new arena? Is that downtown? I don't know. Well, yeah. But I think for right now, that's the only options I can see in order to keep this team in Ottawa. Because the last thing we want is a relocation to happen. Oh God, no. That is the last thing we want. Okay, because that just will not help matters. That will just make things worse, and it will get. Right. One of the big reasons I never ever want to see a relocation in a PHL is because I do not want the haters to go, it didn't work in that market. Oh yeah, because that's the first thing people will say if somebody was to relocate. They'll go, look, it didn't work in Ottawa. Well, it did. It did. Okay, they are getting the fans out night in, night out. They are packing that arena. They are loud. They are raucous. They are passionate. They want this team to thrive. They want this team in Ottawa. Unlike their politicians who are just screwing it up for them. There again. Isn't it always the way? Well, it is in the UK. We're not allowed nice things in the UK because politicians just ruin it for us. That's what I'm seeing here at Ottawa. The politicians have many of them actually been to an Ottawa Charge game the last 2 seasons? Well, clearly not. I know. So, if I could ask Ottawa's mayor one question right now. Derby, why you're a C-word? No, not that! Which foot do you want me to kick with the balls, left or right? Not that! It would be... Stop it! The question I would ask to the mayor right now is, have you gone to an Ottawa Charge game? Because if you have, then you would not be behaving the way you are behaving right now. So that would be the one question I would ask to the Ottawa's mayor right now is, have you been to an Ottawa Charge game, yes or no? And I've got a funny feeling the answer is no. Otherwise, you probably would not be behaving the way you are with these locations. And it's really good the PHL have been making it very clear, we're not the bad guys here, we're not the enemy, we're the ones trying. We're the ones trying to make this work. We negotiated in good faith. Unfortunately, it's the other side who are making it more difficult. Yes, the actual councillors and mayor of Ottawa who are making this so much more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, it just blows my mind. I can't believe, here we go again. We've got so many problems. It's only year 3. Yeah, it's early year 3. And the thing we need to make very, very clear is only Vancouver are the primary tenants of the facility they're in. The rest of the leagues, that's Seattle, the Fleet, Frost, even us, the Frost, Victoire, Charge, Sirens, Scepters, we all share the arena that we are currently in. Yep. I mean, I'd love more teams to have to be primary tenants, but that's just not the way it is. Now we have to make what do with what we've got. Yeah. And that's the reason why I'd like the league to look at non-NHL markets because they have more opportunities for primary tenants, and also to grow the game even further by going in markets the NHL hasn't gone, like Cleveland, like Wisconsin, like Quebec, just for example. So you've got to remember, the Charge aren't the primary tenants of the place, and they can't be, because it's the 67s, and that's probably the reason why the league is very small, because as we mentioned, the 67s are not getting numbers in. Nope. No. So they should be made to pay, it's the 67s. And I can't believe that this new arena would cost us money. We'd be losing $1 million a year? A year? I know, right? That's especially as you'd have to increase the ticket prices to accommodate the fact there's less people. How does that model work? How does that model work? No, how does that model work? No, we're increasing the capacity, but we're going to hike up the tickets. That's no. That does not work. That does not work. No. That's gonna drive people more away from Ottawa and just make it look even more worse than it is. Because obviously the A's hiked up ticket prices, and look what happened. People said, "No, I'm not paying that," and that just painted him a more bigger picture than Oakland wasn't working. I mean, it wasn't Oakland's fault; it's the A's fault. Yeah. So there you go. So I can tell you from first hand, jacking up the ticket prices does not help because it drives more people away because they can't afford it, and it paints a bad picture of the city because it looks like that so you can't house it. Where it does. Yeah. Where it does. Yeah. So. Yes. Oh no. That's not. It just sounds worrying. Because we can't afford to lose a team. Nope. Especially in a market like Ottawa that's been proven to be very successful in getting the fans. Yeah! They are so passionate in Ottawa. They want this to work. They want the PWHL to exist. They want women's hockey to work in Ottawa. It's their elected officials who are the bad guys. They're the ones causing the problems. I don't get why. Exactly. Don't get no. It's always the case, isn't it? Politicians, it always is the case. They always were the ones that cause the problems. Right. So there's going to be a vote on November the 7th. I'll try to get this published before that. Yeah, just so. If they approve this, what then? Because you would then need to have a timeline in place. Would you be tearing TD Place down? Would you not be tearing it down? Yeah. So, ooh. I mean, ideally, they say they vote no, and that means that they have to go back to the drawing board with this project and make it work better. If they say yes, then it kind of feels like, oh my god, it's going to be a ticking time bomb, and it could cause a lot of problems for the PWHL, which we right now. Especially with the basketball continue teams in, and also looking at maybe getting at least 4 more in the next two years. Yeah. Yeah, because I think to get those four new teams, I'd be looking more. You get 2 next season, so 26-27, and 2 the following year, 27-28. That would work better. Yeah, that would work better than putting all 4 in one go. Yeah. But the question is, we know that next year's draft class in 26 is going to be a really good draft class. Yep. So, the question is, how does the league want to maximise that by putting 4 new teams in? Or yeah, I've said my piece. Ideally, if we're going to put 4 teams in, so get to 12, I think it would be as late. I think the best way to do it would as late as put it out. 2 join 26-27. That's next season, and then the other 2 join 27-28, and that's your 12. Then, of course, after that, you can have discussions of, right, how do you then go about expansion after that? Because 12 is a good minimum, but you know there's so many other markets out there, it's not going to be enough. So after you get to 12, do you still then go rapid expansions, or do you then put them all as a staggered pace? That would be the question that you have to have when you get to 12. So this is going to be very worrying, and I will be keeping a very close eye on this next week. So it's the 7th of November. I've got nothing on that day. Nope. I've got nothing on that day, so I can keep an eye out on that. And if something does happen, then we will come back the following week and get like I said, we're going to keep you guys updated every single step of the way with this, because this is a very alarming situation, not just for the Charge, but for the PHL as a whole. So we'll be keeping an eye out every single step of the way. Like we said we did on the last episode, we're back already again. I wasn't expecting it to be that quick, because we literally only got it published, what was it, yesterday? We published it for the day of the meetings, that was the 29th of October. Yep! Because we recorded on the 28th. You had it all published, ready to go for 29th of October. So, yeah. So, yeah. It was a very quick turnaround, it was. And this might be as well, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So, I will keep close eye out. You go on Rugby Series as planned, lady. You're still on off-season mode. Yeah. For me, that ends pre-season. Okay. But for me, the off-season ends on next week with the Rugby Series. Yep. But for you two, it won't be until pre-season. Probably, yeah. I think for me, my off-season should probably end when training camp starts. That would be November the 7th. Yeah. I think I will. Yeah. No, I'm waiting for pre-season. Oh, that's fine. That's why I'm so excited for next season's structure with the World Championships. Yeah. Because when we get to the World Championships, that means that the off season is properly over and we're back straight to women's hockey. Yeah. Rather than this staggered that we've had the last few years. Yeah. Given how the Rugby Series has been positioned. Yeah. So that's the reason to get so excited for next season's structure, is because you know the World Championships were happening in the beginning of November, and then once they're over, we're straight into the new PHL season, and that's amazing. Yeah. That's gonna be yeah. Yeah, and of course this is gonna be this year's gonna be your last birthday before that's peaceful and not eventful. Yes, because going forward, with the World Championships now being in November every year, that means my birthday is always going to roll around during the World Championships. Yeah, that's brilliant for me. That's brilliant, because obviously it will also mark the start of the women's hockey season for me. So that's brilliant. Start by that. Right. So this is getting quite a line now for the Charge, and I really do feel for their fans. I know what it's like. I've gone through this myself in baseball. It never ends well. So really, I hope we are really pulling for you guys. We really hope that this will all be sorted and it will work out fine for the best. We'll see. Yeah. Okay, but we will keep you updated every step of the way. So every time we hear something, you guys will hear it too. And that's the beauty of how I've done the Birds episodes, is that we get to cover all the news. We don't just focus on the Frost. We focus on the entire league. So any time there's something new going on across the whole league, we can then just come and report to you guys straight away, and then you guys have to be stressing or worrying about it. You can do that to us. Yeah. Yeah. So final thoughts before we go. How are you feeling? If the city officials got any sense, you would say no to this project right now, because you are Because you're gonna make an enemy out of the PHL. You're gonna make an enemy out of the Charge. You're gonna make an enemy out of that fan base. Do you really want to do that? I know I won't. It's really alarming, and I do worry about this project going through. Because then, what would the timelines be? How do you go about this? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So, I would say, don't vote it through. Go back to the drawing board. Try and bring the PHL up to the table as well, because that's not happened. And then let's get something that all parties can work and agree on. Otherwise, it's going to end badly. Alright. I'd like to finish off with my point. Yeah, it's clear that the PHL has not been given a seat at the table. And yet, if this is going to be potentially a home for the Charge, then the PHL needs to have a seat at the table. Because they are adamant they are not leaving Ottawa. They are adamant. Yeah, the PHL is adamant that they are not leaving Ottawa without a fight. So, really, they should also be given a seat at the table to discuss this and then put their points across, put the Charge's points across. Why is the Charge's general manager not being involved in this? Why is he... Here's a he, right? Why is he not being given a seat at the table? Why is the Charge's GM not being given a seat at the table? Why is that? Yeah. Why is that? Why is he not getting a seat at the table? So I think you need to seriously think this through. You need to look up, get the PHL involved, because it's going to affect the Charge as much as it's going to affect the 67s, who clearly don't deserve that arena. No, they don't deserve that. The 67s, they are not bringing more than 3,000 a game. You don't deserve to have a nice facility. Now, if you're not bringing in the clientele, then why do you deserve to get a nice new shiny arena when you're not bringing the goods in? Because the Charge are the ones who is making that arena right now profitable. Not the 67s. Not the 67s. No, it's not the 67s. The Charge should be the ones to be prioritised. And I agree in that article. Give the Charge more weekend games. Give the Charge more weekend games. They'll bring in the crowds. That's more proof you need that the Charge is viable. So So you need to start getting the PHL more involved in this. Otherwise, this is going to end in disaster. And I do not want this to end in disaster because I know exactly what it's like to go through this. And trust me, it does not end well. So this is really alarming. Okay, so we now have had the PHL side to it, which is really, really great. Like I said, we know a vote is going to be taking place on November the 7th. So that is this time next week. We will, when we get that result, we will come back the following week and we'll do an episode on that and we'll talk about what this could now mean going forward. So, but hanging there, Charles Burns, hanging there. And it's great to see the PHL is literally fighting for the Charge. Because it's very, very clear that city officials and Mayor Sutcliffe clearly don't want a Charge in Ottawa. And unfortunately, you have to deal with that. Because the Ottawa Charge are working in Ottawa. The PHL is working in Ottawa. And the PHL wants to stay in Ottawa. So it's glad to see that the PHL is fighting for Ottawa, even if its officials, elected officials, are not.